So guys, this week Bungie has dropped two different Vidocs on us for the final shape, giving us a little bit of a look behind the curtain at certain aspects of the expansion, or some new gameplay aspects as well. First one mainly gives us a look at the behind the scenes stuff, while there's the second one that released today gives us a look at more of that gameplay stuff. So we'll break them both down, go over some of the main points here as always. But before we do, if you're going to enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, as it's free to do and really does help me out. And also a lot of you who watch aren't subscribed, so if you could do that, I would very much appreciate it. But with all that being said, let's jump straight into it. So the first Vidoc mainly gave us a look at the development behind the expansion, going over some really cool stuff with the Dread, as well as giving us a preview of the brand new voice for Zavala, that being Keith David.
I used to think I'd give anything to bring you back.
So it sounds good. Obviously got that deeper tone to his voice, but the cutscenes here look amazing. Keith's voice for Zavala sounds great. They also mentioned a little bit later on that with the Dread faction, there's going to be a new language that they're using that can actually be deciphered. So if you're into that, that's cool. There's a whole load of other stuff here giving us new images of the Pale Heart location and how you've got like body parts kind of replacing different parts of the environment, which is very, very cool. Find it here. Yeah, you've got like a basic house, but you've got like the Witness's smoke coming out of the chimney. Crazy looking. So the environment for the final shape, Pale Heart, just looks insane. And I can't wait to explore it. That was pretty much it though for the first Vidoc, mainly just Dread stuff, how they developed the Dread and all of that. A lot of cool looking cutscenes, and now let's just jump into the second Vidoc because there's a lot more to talk about there. So starting off here with the second Vidoc, the first thing I talked about was the Kvostov and how they could bring that back. Obviously it being the first gun that we got in D1 and also in the New Light quest in D2, I believe. It's a very nostalgic gun for most players. I believe here they show us an actual in-game shot of it. So you got the right choice as its main intrinsic trait, where every 7th bullet from this weapon deals additional damage and ricochets to nearby targets. So that's what was going on in the trailer. You can see that there's a lot of 7s in its stats. That's because Bungie just loves the number 7. 600 rounds per minute. Very cool. I believe they also said something about it gaining shape bullets from picking up orbs of power. I think they play it here.
A bunch of 7s in its stat. You get 7 bouncy bullets when you pick up an orb of power.
Yeah, 7 bouncy bullets whenever you pick up an orb, so cool stuff there. Very interested to try this weapon out. Then they go on to talk about the new destination set of weapons for the Pale Heart. How Cade had a unique design here for the Ace of Spades. They wanted to kind of finish off the suite of cards. So each different weapon is a different card of a set, which is kind of cool, and they all have a link to Cade in some way. I think is really, really awesome. So you've got a shotgun there, fusion rifle, sniper rifle, and they all have like different characters on them and different suits. And each side of it is like the reverse of the opposite side, which is kind of cool as well. Healing auto rifle was the next main thing, and you can see here he's shooting an ally currently, and when you shoot an ally with this auto rifle, they will be healed, and you can see how much health they're getting by the white outline around the character's green little icon there. And it also deals damage when you shoot any other enemy type. It seems also that the bullets fired are kind of like projectiles almost. So very unique auto rifle there. They also then go on to talk about it having its own unique charge, kind of like a glaive does. And they say that this charge is filled by just doing any type of damage. So I feel like the charge is tied to the healing aspect of the gun. So you'll need to deal damage with the gun to build up charge. And then you'll be able to shoot at your allies to then heal them. The unique playstyle there for an auto rifle. So you can see it healing. Seems to have a decent amount of healing as well, which is really, really good for a weapon that's mainly focused around the ability to heal. Then they go on to talk about the new subclasses, or shall I say new supers coming in with the final shape. First one was the new Radiance super. This is obviously from Destiny 1, but they changed it a bit, because in D1 it had the flaming wings on the back of it. But because Dawnblade took that idea, they couldn't really reuse that, because when people see flaming wings, they just think Dawnblade. So instead, they've added a halo effect around your character, as you can see there. So it's got a unique new design. You can also see the grenade icon it gets and how fast abilities recharge with it. Seems to be doing around like 30k damage with a grenade, and it bounces between different enemies, which is crazy. Good stuff there. Next, let's talk Titan. So you got Halo there, which is cool. But moving on to Titan here, this is a cool thing that I actually noticed from this Vidoc. They stated before that obviously you could throw the axes and then pick them back up. What they didn't say is that you could actually pick up those axes and then throw them again. So you can just, instead of using it just like a melee weapon, you can just go in there and just throw it at the target if you want for more ranged attacks, which I feel like opens up more options with that super, which is very, very cool. And then they just talk about the design of it, how it's like half of the actual Titan shield. And then Blink Hunter, they just say that they wanted it to be like the D1 Arc Blade super, but not last as long. They said that they used to have it be like a 24-second long super, but now it's only like 12 seconds they have it available for. So good change there, because a 24-second long arc blade that is able to teleport would have been pretty insane in my opinion. And then finally, they talk about the brand new strike, Illuminality? No idea. But they say that this is like kind of like the Witness's home, kind of like the inspiration for it, which is very, very cool. They also say that it's going to be the hardest strike that they've ever made. That was like their main goal for it. So it's got a lot of like Witness iconography of what their home planet used to look like, which I think is pretty cool. And one major thing that they explained here was the lava falling from the ceiling. So you'll see here, we're in a tight corridor, you have like a ball type object, and lava's just casually falling from the ceiling as you have to run through the corridor and reach the end before the door closes on you, which is a very interesting aspect that you wouldn't normally see inside of a strike, which is so cool. I think you'd normally see this in like a raid encounter, but seeing this being added to a strike, awesome. They said that they want this to be the hardest strike in the game. Gonna have to wait and see how true that ends up becoming, because normally when they say that they want stuff to be hard, we normally just blitz through it, no problem. So let's hope it's hard, but we'll have to wait and see. And that was pretty much it for these two Vidocs. I'll have a link to both of them in the description if you want to check them out yourself, because there's a lot of cool stuff within each of them in terms of new gameplay, screenshots and stuff of different places, which is very, very cool. You should definitely take a look at. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So if you've enjoyed as always, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.